I have a question that might kind of put you on the spot, but I am curious, and I would like to ask you,
Okay.
and perhaps we can help you answer this question. But what is your biggest question remaining about the NFL? What is like the one team or storyline or player or something that you just can't seem to figure out? And maybe we have some takes to help you out.
Well, I think I'll keep it short. So it's sort of something that you guys can weigh in on. Like I do sometimes wonder, and we're all putting hundreds of hours into watching football and analyzing it. And like, it's week 8 and I'm talking about like the Texans versus, the Jaguars and writing all these notes. It's like, are the Chiefs just going to win this whole thing? And this has been, it's been enjoyable, but from another angle, from a work standpoint angle, a tremendous waste of my time because the ending was figured out from the start and the Chiefs are just going to repeat. And why didn't I just sleep until, the week before the Super Bowl, wake up and start working then?
Right.
Can anyone beat them? Or is this just are we just going through a hollow drill here? I hope that's not the answer, but they seem unbeatable to me.
Trey, you're muted.
Oh, excuse me, but I thought you were still talking. That's my apologies, my bad. But yeah, that's. I mean, I think a lot of us have had that same sort of thinking with the Chiefs and the rest of the NFL because it seems like you can't stop the Chiefs offense no matter what players you get on defense, no matter what coaches you hire, and no matter what scheme you implement. You can't stop that Chiefs offense. There's too much talent on that offense at all those skill positions: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, and to top it off, you have Andy Reid, who's arguably one of the best offensive play callers and play designers in the history of this league. And you have this gigantic juggernaut of a monster that nobody can stop. And it's just running all out of control and it's wreaking havoc across the entire NFL. It sucks, I guess you could say, for parody reasons, but it's always fun to watch the Chiefs dominate each and every Sunday because who doesn't love to see Patrick Mahomes throwing 7 touchdowns a game all across the year? It's really fun to watch, no doubt about it.
And I guess we should remember, like, it's not the Patriots. Like, we wanted someone different for so long
Right.
that, I'm not, I think if anything, like with the Chiefs, one thing that, and I had to check myself at the door a little bit is like, it's just become so normalized that Patrick Mahomes does these things every week that the offense can score 25 points in 6 minutes. I'm just used to seeing it that I'm not like blown away when historically, if you think about it, like, we're watching something incredible. No, exactly. So it's like maybe, let's enjoy it while it's still a reality.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to Patriots level. I mean, I'm a Broncos fan. They just won the division for the 5th straight year. And I mean, you look back, like 2 of those years, they didn't even have Patrick Mahomes starting. I mean, those were the Alex Smith-led Chiefs. And like what Andy Reid has been able to do there, like you are right. They're going, like, he is going to coach for approximately another 10 years. And win at least 3 or 4 more Super Bowls, and we'll see where they end up next to the Patriots. But this is kind of the next dynasty. But I will play devil's advocate. I do think there are 2 teams, one team that can beat them in the AFC. I think the Bills can beat them. If Josh Allen gets there on the right day and Josh Allen is on, they can beat the Chiefs because I think that they have enough talent up front where they can get to Patrick Mahomes without blitzing him. I think the secondary is playing really well right now, and I think they can slow, and their linebackers, I think, are a good matchup with a guy like Travis Kelce. I really like the Bills, and the AFC is the only team I think that stands a chance with keeping up with them. I could see the Titans getting in a shootout with them again. I really could. But the defense is just so bad in Tennessee that there's just no way that they pull that game out, I don't think. But I think they give them a run for their money. And in the NFC, I mean, we just had a guest on yesterday who thinks the Rams match up against them extremely well. And I don't really see that, but I'm a believer in Russell Wilson. And I think if the Seahawks were ever to get there and that game got berserk, I think the one guy that could take down Patrick Mahomes is probably Russell Wilson. So there's like 4 teams for you that might be able to take him down. But outside of those 4, I just don't see it happening. And maybe this can transition us to another question. Like, who do you see in the NFC right now? Because to me, the AFC is crystal clear. But the NFC is just a jumbled mess right now, especially this morning. RotoWorld's reporting that Drew Brees is probably not coming back this week. He may not be back until the end of a regular season. Like, what is going to happen in the NFC? Can the Packers keep this up? Are they going to slip against the Titans here in a few weeks? It just seems wide open to me.
Well, I think the Titans could beat the Saints or Green Bay. I do. I just think that the floor for the Titans is on offense is much higher than it is for other teams. But to the point of which NFC team will take it, I don't see an invincible team in the NFC. It seems like if you go through the schedule this year, you could point to any of them and they've been whacked by one of the other teams. My belief in Tampa Bay is lower than it was a month or two ago. I just, I get that Bruce Arians says we can do whatever we want. Part of whatever you want is not showing up for quarters at a time also. So that's just, to me, does not scream like raging bully. Now they could get hot. I get it. The Saints, to me, what I really like about the Saints is obviously how well they're coached, and they've been through a ton. 2 years in a row, they got a lot of backup quarterback action, and they've got a really unusual guy, obviously playing quarterback right now in Taysom Hill, and they've worked themselves through issues. And I think every year, every team is going to have sort of a stinker, and I think that's what happened against the Eagles. Sean Payton said they were really flat in the first half, and if you go watch that first half, I mean, they really were, in a way that I was kind of stunned that they haven't looked like that. But they're imperfect. And in the Packers, to me, I think that they could beat anyone and they could lose to teams too. To me, that's what concerns me a little bit, is that which of those teams is going to go put up a fight in the Super Bowl. But Aaron Rodgers, if you get the best version of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like when those two are kind of cooking, they're pretty unstoppable. That might be the most unstoppable combination of quarterback and weapon in the NFC. If you get it on that day, because Devontae Adams, to me, and also I didn't realize he was like quite as muscle bound as he is. Like, dude is huge. And like, he's playing at an all pro level right now. So if that connection stays, lit on fire, they could get through anyone in the NFC. But my answer is rambling because I don't have a clear answer. There's sort of a muddled group of very good teams that don't strike me as like the 89